Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno of Citium. Most people never realize the power hidden in that one sentence. We live in a world that reacts too fast, speaks without thinking, and mistakes noise for intelligence. Every day, people rush to defend themselves, to argue, to prove a point. Yet very few ever stop to understand what is truly happening beneath the surface. The Stoics understood a truth that remains undefeated. The mind that stays calm, observant, and intentional will always outthink the mind that is emotional, impulsive, and loud. That is why mastering your internal responses doesn't just make you wiser, it gives you a strategic advantage over 90% of people who are controlled by their impulses. In the next 6 minutes, you will learn 6 Stoic principles that sharpen perception, strengthen judgment, and elevate your ability to read people and situations with precision. Let's begin. 1. The power of strategic silence. Silence is one of the most underestimated forms of intelligence, yet it is the first skill that separates a reactive mind from a superior one. Most people speak simply to fill space. They talk to ease discomfort, to appear confident, or because they fear losing control. But the moment you stop rushing to speak, something powerful happens. Other people begin revealing themselves without even realizing it. Silence is not the absence of words, it is the presence of awareness. It slows down the world while your mind sharpens. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca wrote about how people expose their weaknesses through their speech, their impatience, insecurity, and hidden motives. When you remain silent, those truths surface effortlessly. You gain information without losing energy. You observe without becoming the center of attention. And here lies the quiet paradox. Silence often makes people more uncomfortable than confrontation. Most individuals rely on predictable interaction patterns, interrupting, defending, explaining, reacting. When you do none of that, their script collapses. They begin talking more, over-explaining, contradicting themselves. Silence becomes a mirror that reflects their intentions far more accurately than any interrogation ever could. Consider the moments when someone disrespected you, challenged you, or tried to provoke a reaction. The instinct is to respond immediately, yet a quick reaction hands them exactly what they want: your attention, your emotional balance, your energy. Strategic silence denies them all three. It forces them to sit with the weight of their own behavior while you remain completely in control. In professional settings, silence becomes negotiation leverage. The person who speaks less always controls the rhythm. They read the room, sense the tension, and detect hidden pressure points. The one who talks too much gives away information, while the silent one gathers it like ammunition. In arguments, silence breaks the cycle of escalation. It signals unshakable confidence, not surrender. It communicates a simple truth. Your words do not dictate my reaction. I respond only when it serves my clarity, not my ego. That alone places you above the average person whose emotions steer every sentence they speak. Even in personal relationships, silence teaches more than speaking. When someone uses a careless tone, silence makes them hear themselves. When someone crosses a boundary, silence reinforces it without needing justification. The absence of reaction becomes a powerful form of communication. To embody this form of intelligence, practice the pause. Create space before you respond. Let others reveal what they don't realize they're showing. And speak only when your words change the direction of the moment. Silence is presence. Silence is clarity. Silence is power. Silence exposes truth faster than questions. 2. See intentions. Before actions. Most people look at what others do. Very few look at why they do it, and that difference is where real intelligence begins. Actions can be rehearsed, copied, or performed for show. Intentions cannot. Intentions leak through tone, timing, hesitation, energy, and the small inconsistencies that most eyes never notice. When you train yourself to see the motives beneath the movement, you stop being surprised, confused, or manipulated by anyone. A reactive mind responds to behavior. A discerning mind responds to the reason behind it. This is why the Stoics emphasized perception as the first form of wisdom. They understood that people rarely reveal their true intentions through straightforward statements. Instead, intentions hide in the emotional charge behind their words, in the patterns of their choices, and in the gaps between what they claim and what they actually do. Someone can compliment you while envying you. Someone can help you while resenting you. Someone can apologize while planning to repeat the same behavior. When you learn to focus on the invisible rather than the obvious, you stop taking things at face value. You start recognizing which behavior comes from insecurity, which comes from pride, which comes from fear, and which comes from genuine sincerity. Observe the way someone speaks when they want something versus when they don't. Notice how their mood shifts around certain topics or people. Pay attention to the speed of their responses. Too quick can mean rehearsed. Too slow can mean calculating. Watch for the details they avoid, the questions they dodge, and the stories that never quite align. These small fractures reveal far more than any confession ever will. Seeing intentions is not about being suspicious. It is about being awake. Awareness protects you from disappointment. Awareness saves you time, energy, and emotional stability. Awareness allows you to decide who deserves access to your life. In difficult conversations, take a moment to observe the foundation beneath the words. Is the person trying to inform you, influence you, impress you, or manipulate you? Once you identify their goal, the confusion disappears. You no longer react emotionally because you understand the architecture of the interaction. Their behavior becomes predictable, and when something is predictable, it loses its power over you. In relationships, understanding intentions gives you emotional freedom. You stop believing empty promises and start watching for consistent effort. You stop being fooled by dramatic apologies and start valuing responsibility. You stop rewarding people who show up only when it benefits them. You begin responding based on truth, not illusion. In leadership, seeing intentions helps you place the right people in the right roles. Some seek power, some seek approval, some seek opportunity, and some seek progress. When you understand what drives each person, you navigate your environment with confidence instead of guesswork. Seeing intentions is a silent skill. No one sees you doing it, but everyone feels that you cannot be tricked, rushed, or easily influenced. You become someone who understands things early, reacts late, and chooses wisely. You outsmart people by understanding what they want, not what they say. 3. Never argue. Redirect the conversation. Arguments are traps disguised as opportunities to prove yourself. Most people step into them because they feel challenged, disrespected, or misunderstood. But the truth is simple. When you argue, you enter the other person's frame. You let them dictate the emotional tempo, the direction of the conversation, and the value of your attention. The more you argue, the more you lose. Not because your ideas are wrong, but because you're playing a game you didn't choose. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that a mind seeking clarity cannot afford to drown in noise. Arguing is noise. It fuels ego, not wisdom. It creates heat, not insight. It wastes energy on the illusion of victory while ignoring the substance underneath. The louder the argument becomes, the further both sides drift from truth. Most people argue to win. The wise avoid arguing so they can understand. When someone tries to pull you into conflict, pause and redirect. Instead of defending your point, ask a question that reveals theirs. Instead of pushing back, shift the focus. Instead of trading blows, uncover the reason behind their insistence. By doing this, you move from reacting to analyzing. You take back control without raising your voice. Notice how quickly an argument dissolves when you refuse to play the role they prepared for you. Most confrontations rely on predictable responses. Defend yourself, explain yourself, justify yourself, escalate with them. When you break that pattern, their momentum dies. They are forced to confront their own logic without a sparring partner. Redirection is not a weakness. It is a strategy. It is choosing clarity over chaos. A calm question at the right moment is more powerful than 100 defensive statements. Try responses like, "What makes this so important to you? Help me understand what you're really trying to say. What outcome are you hoping for right now?" These are not evasions. They are shifts. They expose motives. They transform emotional flare-ups into rational exchanges. They move the conversation from ego to essence, and most importantly, they prevent you from being dragged into emotional mud. When you redirect instead of arguing, the dynamic changes instantly. The person expecting resistance now faces reflection. The person expecting a fight now faces their own reasoning. The person expecting impulsivity now faces composure. And composure always wins the long game. In personal relationships, redirecting preserves peace without sacrificing boundaries. It shows maturity, not submission. It says, "I am willing to understand, but I am not willing to lose myself in the process." In professional spaces, redirecting positions you as a thinker, not a reactor. You become the stabilizing force in chaotic discussions, the person who keeps conversations from spiraling, the one who sees the structure beneath the emotion. Wisdom is not proven by how fiercely you argue, but by how gracefully you refuse the invitation. The smartest move is not proving your point, but revealing theirs. 4. Observe patterns, not promises. Promises are cheap. Patterns are expensive. Most people listen to what others say because words are fast, flattering, and easy to believe. But if you want to outthink and outmaneuver the average mind, shift your attention to what people repeat. Repetition is the purest form of truth. It's where intentions, habits, and character reveal themselves without filter. A promise shows desire. A pattern shows reality. This is why people often feel blindsided in relationships, friendships, or workplaces. They trusted declarations, apologies, enthusiasm, or emotional performances instead of watching the consistent thread woven through someone's behavior. A person may promise patience, yet rush you. They may promise loyalty, yet disappear when needed. They may promise honesty, yet distort stories whenever it benefits them. The pattern was there all along. They just weren't looking. Stoic wisdom teaches that judgment should be based on what endures, not what sparkles for a moment. A single grand gesture means little if it is followed by silence. A sincere apology is empty if followed by the same harm. Change shouted loudly means nothing if consistency whispers otherwise. Patterns protect you from illusion. Patterns save you from false hope. Patterns reveal character far more accurately than emotions or intentions ever can. Watch how someone behaves when they think no one is watching. Notice how they talk about others. Observe how they handle stress, how they treat people who cannot benefit them, how they respond to boundaries. These repeated behaviors form a clear blueprint, a map of who they truly are beneath the surface. In relationships, patterns tell you whether someone values effort or comfort, commitment or convenience. Someone who consistently makes excuses is telling you their priorities. Someone who regularly breaks small promises will eventually break bigger ones. Someone who shows up only when it's easy will vanish when it's hard. You never need to ask twice. Their pattern has already answered. In friendships, patterns show motive. The friend who reaches out only when they need something, the one who is supportive only when life is calm, the one who competes instead of celebrates. These are not isolated moments. They are rhythms. and the rhythm always repeats. In leadership or work environments, patterns distinguish reliability from performance. Many people can shine once. Few can maintain direction, integrity, and discipline day after day. The person who shows respect consistently is trustworthy. The one who wavers depending on convenience is not. And the one who blames the world for every setback is revealing a truth about their mindset that no motivational speech can cover. When you base your judgment on patterns, not promises, you stop being fooled by potential and start responding to evidence. You stop accepting words as currency and start valuing consistency. You become someone who sees reality with clarity instead of fantasy with hope. Wisdom begins the moment you treat patterns as truth. You outsmart people by watching what they repeat. 5. Control emotions. Before making any decision, the fastest way to lose clarity, power, and advantage is to decide while emotional. The mind in motion cannot see straight. The mind in reaction cannot calculate. And the mind in fear, anger, or excitement creates consequences it later regrets. Most people don't make bad decisions because they are incapable. They make bad decisions because they decide too soon. The Stoics taught that the true battle is not with the world, but with the storms inside us. Emotion is natural, but decision is deliberate. When emotion rushes in, wisdom must slow down. A pause may feel small, but it is the line between your future being shaped by impulse or by intention. Every emotional reaction tries to convince you that it is urgent. Every wise response knows that it is not. When something provokes you, the body fires first. The heart rate rises, the breath shortens, the mind becomes narrow and defensive. In that state, the world shrinks. Options look limited. Dangers look larger. Words feel heavier. If you choose from that state, you aren't choosing. You're escaping the pressure of feeling. This is why emotional decisions often lead to apologies, regret, or deeper complications. The message you send while angry, the purchase you make while excited, the relationship decision made while scared, the promise made in a moment of guilt. These choices feel right in the heat of emotion and feel wrong once it cools. To outthink the emotional mind, create distance. Distance brings perspective. Distance reveals what emotion hides. Even a short pause gives your reasoning time to catch up to your impulses. The breath slows the body calms the mind, and the mind becomes capable of seeing truth instead of distortion. The Stoics used a simple method. Step back, zoom out, and question the feeling. Not suppress it, not judge it, but examine it. What is this emotion trying to protect? What fear sits underneath it? What story am I telling myself right now? The moment you question a feeling, its control weakens. A questioned emotion becomes information, not instruction. In conflict, controlling emotion allows you to respond strategically rather than contribute to chaos. In negotiation, it prevents you from revealing too much or accepting too little. In relationships, it keeps you from speaking words that cannot be taken back. In personal struggles, it keeps you from quitting too soon or committing too quickly. A calm mind does not mean a quiet life. It means a guided life. Emotion can accompany you, but it cannot drive. The driver must always be clarity. To live this principle, adopt a simple ritual. Pause before you decide. Breathe before you speak. Observe before you interpret. This short moment of control creates long-lasting stability. Power belongs to the person who decides from clarity, not urgency. He who controls his emotions controls the outcome. 6. Protect your attention. Your most powerful weapon. Attention is the currency of the mind. Whatever controls your attention controls your thoughts, your mood, your priorities, your decisions, and ultimately your entire life. Most people never realize this. They spend their days scattering their attention in every direction. Notifications, conversations, gossip, distractions, impulses, trivial tasks, until their mind becomes a battlefield of noise. And in that chaos, intelligence cannot grow, strategy cannot form, wisdom cannot breathe. The Stoics understood that a distracted mind is a defeated mind. They lived in noisy, chaotic cities filled with politics, conflict, and constant demands, yet they cultivated an inner stillness so strong that nothing external could hijack their focus. They knew that attention is not something you simply use. It is something you protect. Once attention is lost, everything else collapses behind it. Most people think intelligence is measured by knowledge, but true intelligence is measured by direction. A focused mind doing ordinary things will outperform an unfocused mind doing extraordinary things. The most successful thinkers are not the ones who know the most, but the ones who know what to ignore. Distraction is not just a minor inconvenience, it is a thief. It steals depth, patience, clarity, creativity, consistency, and discipline. It steals the ability to sit with a problem long enough to solve it. It steals the ability to observe people deeply enough to understand them. It steals the ability to build anything meaningful, because nothing meaningful is built without sustained attention. When your attention is scattered, you live in fragments. When your attention is anchored, you live with intention. Protecting your attention begins with recognizing what drains it. Not everything that asks for your attention deserves it. Not every conversation feeds your growth. Not every task is worthy of your time. Not every conflict is yours to solve. Not every opportunity is aligned with your values. And not every person around you is meant to have access to your mental space. The modern world constantly fights for your attention, and it wins every time you respond without thinking. Every useless notification, every pointless argument, every emotional bait, every click designed to steal your curiosity pushes you further from yourself. The average person's mind is not occupied by their own goals, but by the agendas of others. Friends, co-workers, media, strangers, algorithms. They are mentally busy, yet spiritually empty. To outsmart this world, you must choose where your mind lives. You must decide what enters and what stays out. You must become the gatekeeper of your own thoughts. Protecting your attention is not about isolation. It is about elevation. It is choosing what deserves your energy and what does not. Consider how much mental space is wasted on imagined scenarios, on overthinking what people might be thinking, on checking messages that do not matter, on scrolling through stories of lives that do not affect your own, on maintaining relationships that have no purpose except habit. Every one of these drains your ability to think sharply and act decisively. A mind pulled in 10 directions cannot see any one direction clearly. A mind spread thin becomes easy to influence, easy to manipulate, and easy to confuse. This is why the Stoics were able to stay calm when others panicked. Their attention was anchored in principles, not noise. They prepared their minds at the start of each day and asked, "What is within my control? What deserves my focus? What distracts me from my purpose?" They understood that a wandering mind is a vulnerable mind. To protect your attention, begin by identifying your mental enemies. Endless debates, unfiltered opinions, pointless drama, superficial validation, emotional bait, and the addictive pull of novelty. These things promise stimulation, but deliver emptiness. Detach from the need to react instantly. Detach from the need to answer every message. Detach from the need to consume everything others broadcast. Detach from the illusion that being busy means being purposeful. The world pressures you to divide your attention. Stoic discipline trains you to reclaim it. When you protect your attention, you become less predictable. You stop being pulled into every distraction others throw at you. People feel less able to manipulate you because they cannot hijack your emotional responses. You begin to choose your battles with precision rather than exhaustion. You stop giving your energy to situations that will not matter in a week, and you stop watering relationships that will not exist in a year. In work, a protected attention span makes you more competent than 90% of people who multitask themselves into mediocrity. While they scatter their mind across 10 tasks, you are drilling deeply into one. Depth beats speed. Depth beats noise. Depth beats the illusion of productivity. In relationships, attention becomes presence. When you give someone full attention, you see them clearly. You understand their tone, their motives, their emotional state. You communicate with intention instead of impulse. You choose your words carefully. You notice what others miss. People trust those who listen, not those who hurry. In personal growth, attention fuels transformation. When your attention is stable, you can read deeply, think clearly, reflect honestly, and act consistently. You begin to see patterns in your own behavior with clarity. You begin to recognize where you self-sabotage. You begin to separate genuine desires from impulses. You begin to find direction. A scattered mind follows the world. A focused mind builds its own world. To embody this principle, create a life where your attention serves your goals, not your urges. Reduce noise. Create quiet pockets in your day. Stop checking your phone first thing in the morning. Direct your attention toward what strengthens your mind, not what weakens it. Decide what kind of thoughts deserve a place in your inner world. When you protect your attention, you protect your potential. To outsmart the world, master what your mind consumes. Outsmarting 90% of people has never been about having superior knowledge, sharper words, or louder opinions. It has always been about cultivating the kind of inner discipline that most people never develop. Throughout this journey, you've seen how silence, perception, redirection, pattern recognition, emotional control, and attention form a complete system, a mental framework that allows you to move through the world with precision instead of noise, intention instead of impulse. These principles work because they shift your focus from external chaos to internal mastery. When you choose silence over reaction, you gain information others overlook. When you look beneath actions and toward intentions, you read people more accurately than they read themselves. When you refuse to argue and instead redirect, you conserve energy and expose truth. When you trust patterns instead of promises, you stop granting people the power to disappoint you. When you control your emotions before you decide, you protect your future from temporary storms. And when you guard your attention, you guard your potential. Together, these practices turn your mind into a strategic instrument rather than a battlefield of impulses. You begin to understand the world without being overwhelmed by it. You navigate people without being drained by them. You choose your responses instead of surrendering them. Life becomes clearer, quieter, and far easier to maneuver. But none of these principles matter unless you practice them. Wisdom grows only when applied. So take one principle from this video and use it today, not tomorrow, not when it feels convenient, but now. Silence in one conversation, observation in one interaction, emotional discipline in one challenge. Protect your attention for 1 hour. Even a single moment of mastery changes the entire trajectory of your day. This is how Stoic intelligence works. Small internal victories that accumulate into a mindset the world cannot shake. Thank you for spending this time strengthening your inner world. If these ideas gave you clarity, perspective, or strength, consider liking the video, sharing it for someone who needs it, and subscribing so you don't miss the next step in your Stoic journey. The path to mastery is built quietly, steadily, and intentionally, and you are already on it.